Thank you so much for joining me once again for our weekly intuitive tarot readings for October 26th through November 1st of 2015. I hope everyone is having a good month of October as we enjoy this last week and get ready to dive right into the November energies. Now, for this week, I am using the Celtic cross spread once again to give me an idea of the energies that we will all encounter and be working through for the week. In the position of the present, we have the Temperance card, which is indicating that this will be a week of moderation and patience for you. It may also involve some healing as well as some unity as well. With this card, try not to react too emotionally on things that are happening or things that are going on around you this week. Because there could be some need for patience in a situation. This card, it's more so about the integration of opposites. And that's through bringing together spirit and matter. It's more so about bringing two opposites together and working together to find a healthy balance. So, for example, the trick to this week would be to not stop drinking wine, but to mix it with water in proper ratio to balance out the opposing forces and to make this drink less potent. That if that is at all a proper example, to kind of give you an idea of what I am referring to regarding these energies. Now, we do have the Chariot card, which is crossing the Temperance card. And this is actually indicating a week of victory and overcoming opposition, which is really funny with the Temperance card. And the Temperance card is basically speaking of balancing opposing forces. And this is actually you overcoming opposition through your confidence and control. This is indicating here in the crossing position that any successes that you obtain this week will actually be a result of applying those factors of confidence and control. Also use the strength of your willpower to overcome any obstacles or challenges that may come into your way. This week, you must remain determined, self-disciplined, and hardworking. If you do this, I can promise you that you will triumph over anything or anyone that opposes you this week. In the position of the past, we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. And this is indicating that recently you may have felt a little disorganized or you may have encountered some financial disarrays. You could have been so busy with a lot going on or a lot on your plate that you actually struggled to really sit down and balance your checkbook or to manage your finances. This is being stressed and overwhelmed due to the responsibilities that you have going on right now, which was in last week's reading as well. In the position of the future, we have the Death card in reverse, and this is actually a very this is actually not a bad card to get because it is speaking of you being on the verge of some major changes. The only thing with this card in reverse, and I have to give a disclaimer that this card does not, it almost never means an actual death per se of anyone. It's more so the death of a situation, or whenever we see the death card is usually speaking of the death of a person changing to become something better. More so meaning the death of a personality, the death of an old way of being, the death of the way you might have looked at a situation, or things of that nature. So definitely, definitely don't become weary when we see the death card because it actually almost never does it mean a literal death. It's the cards are more so symbolic in nature. Now, now this card in reverse is speaking of the fact that in the coming future, which is more so this week or maybe early next week, this is speaking of a major change, but for some reason you could be feeling a little resistant to any type of change at this moment. Um, you could be reluctant to let go of something related to your past or something, or maybe you just don't know how to make that change that you are in need of at this point. Um, with this card in this position, I would suggest that you take some quiet time to yourself and just sit back and assess the way in which you are approaching any form of change in your life at this point. You could possibly find that you are in fact halting the very change that will be to your benefit in some sort of way. You may actually be in fear of this new change at this time, but I want you to rest assured that the universe is ushering you into a new time in your life at this point for a reason. And that if it was not meant for you for this particular situation or thing or whatever it may be to be changed, that the universe would not bring it into your life. So, um, it is definitely also important to address and resolve whatever issues that could possibly be there that are causing blockages for your acceptance of change. Um, because as soon as you do this, then you will actually become free, and this will free you up to start your new journey. Now, in the position of our goals and aspirations, and I like to call this the manifesting position because that is what it symbolizes for me. Um, we have the Four of Swords in this position, which means that this week we would probably be taking some time to get some rest and to recuperate a little bit. Um, this is definitely my rest and relaxation card, the Four of Swords. Um, you could find yourself this week taking some time out for meditation, um, taking some time out to get some relief, some mental clarity, it may be a time for you to take to refill yourself up again with optimism and energy and drive to get up and go again. And we all need this, especially if we have had a lot on our plates or have been working a lot lately or have a lot going on. Now, in the position of the way you are feeling on the inside, which is the subconscious / underlying feelings, for this sector, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And this is indicating that deep down at this point, we could actually be having some feelings of paranoia. There could be some feelings of being overly protective, being suspicious of some things, and or insecure. Deep down, you could also be worried about money as well. In the advice position, we have the Four of Pentacles, and this is actually advising us to not become too overly obsessed with the ownership of your possessions or your domain. This card is saying, don't become burdened by, try not to become burdened by possessiveness this week. And this is actually more than likely referring to material possessions, because this is the Suit of Pentacles. So I don't believe this could be referring to a person, the possession of being possessive over a person. I'm sorry. It's more so about being overly possessive of your material things, your domain, where you anything involving the material world, basically, is what this card is advising us to definitely take a look at for this week. Now, we do have the Six of Wands in the external influences position, and this is the position of things that will come to you that is beyond your control and that you cannot change for this week. So it's actually very, very good to have this card in this position, because this card is indicating that there could be some possible good news or a triumph that is coming your way this week. And I do remember in last week's reading that we did have that undertone of something coming, of some messages or communications or victories or some sort of a triumph. It had an undertone of that in the reading from last week. So whatever, with this card in this position for this week, what this is doing is telling us that whatever those things were from last week that were coming, they have actually manifested this week for you. So if you haven't listened to the reading from last week, definitely go back and listen to it and see if it resonates with you. And you will notice that there is an undertone of this same theme. So this is basically letting us know that whatever was going on last week, or whatever communication or message that could have possibly came in for you, or news, that it is actually manifesting and coming forth this week. It will become tangible, in other words. Okay. This card could also signify, along with good news, it could also signify Um, victories through effort, courage, acclaim, and advancements as well. In the position of hopes and fears, we have the Knight of Swords, which was in last week's reading as well, although in a different position. And this is indicating that feeling of being victorious. A Knight of Swords is a person that takes charge. They will go forward. There's no stopping them. Nothing can get in their way, and their mind is set on the goal and the prize. There is nothing you can do to get in this person's way. This person is also very active and authoritative as well. So this could see you being brave and inventive and basically taking challenges on head on. Now, in the outcome position, we do have the Eight of Cups, which is also another excellent card to get in this position. And I am so excited for everyone because this card is absolutely wonderful in this position. And it actually looks as if this is also carrying over from last week's energy and kind of finalizing everything. If you notice, this is literally carrying over from last week's energy that and things that were taking place last week, and it is giving us the outcome and the solution to what is going to take place, because this card, not this cup. This card does have 8 cups on it, but this card is actually the card of moving on and rejecting the old for something new. It's signifying a new move in a new direction. There looks as if there will be very positive changes. Very positive changes coming through, and the breaking of ties as well. There could also be possible new developments and new directions for you. This is a turning point for you in your life where you probably will finally start to make that move forward and to turn your back on something that no longer serves you. This card could also be the rejection of an emotional burden. An emotional burden as well. So I do hope you enjoyed the reading for this week, and I hope I hope you do have a wonderful closing to your month of October to usher in that good energy for the month of November 2015 for you. Definitely check out my monthly readings for each sign for the month of November, as they will be posted up shortly. Definitely check those out, as well as the yearly tarot readings for each sign as well. I will continue to get back to those and post those up as soon as possible as well. So I'm wishing everyone lots and lots of love and light, and I hope you have a wonderful last week of the month of October. Namaste.